Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. It's time. It's Friday night crime time. Let's go. Hello, gamers. It's time. Today, we are going to do some great Ace Attorney for the final stream. Potentially forever. Probably not forever. But the last stream until further notice, because I will be too busy pursuing a higher education for a short amount of time. So, I may stream again eventually one day, but for now, this is the final stream, so thank you for coming. So, where did we leave off last time? Last time, we investigated the room next to the scene of the crime, and we discovered what's-her-face Russian lady, whose name I can't remember, who snuck aboard with a stolen tiara, and she is fleeing the country. And it is assumed that she is containing a pet in this trunk right here. We don't know what pet it is, but I'm assuming it is a snake. I really hope it's a snake. That would be really cool. I want to see a snake. I don't think we're gonna be able to finish the trial today, but we'll get as far as we can. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Ooh, I'm so ready. Alright, 9th of January. SS Beria, first class cabin passageway.
I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that.
I wish we'd managed to find some clues to what that speckled band might be.
We didn't manage to investigate at all. And I imagine...
Oh, hello.
...that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door.
He's clearly glaring at us, as if to say, don't even think about it. Oh, wait a minute.
What is it?
Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go? You just lost him? God, leave him alone for 2 seconds.
Oh yes, he's completely disappeared.
When did he do that? He's slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before assuring these were securely back on my wrists. Oh, okay. Look at Mr. Beef Stroganoff. Really wish we'd had a chance to look around in Miss Pavlova's cabin. Hello. What? Why you look like that? You want something? Huh? Maybe you want me to throw you out again, hmm? Oh, no, definitely not that. Please don't. Next time I have to throw you out, I show you where lobsters spend winter, understand? Understand. I'm sorry. Maybe I should steer clear of him until he's forgotten my face. Great. Good plan.
I don't think he'll ever forget your face, Naruhodo-san.
Thanks. Okay, well, if you're blocking that door, can I go out this door?
That door leads to the second class area.
It's locked. I can't open it.
No, well, that stands to reason. No one wants to let the murderer escape.
Gosh, she gave me a very stern look when she said that. Okay, I guess go back to our cabin then? First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin.
Not our cabin, it's Kazuma-sama's.
Sorry?
Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin.
You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. Oh, poor Inosuke can't catch a break ever. Anyway, I wonder if Inspector Hazanaga has managed to uncover any new clues.
Yes, we should probably find him and ask.
Okay, well, can I go in, please? Oh, do I need to... Skip. Do I need to, like, physically move there? Okay. Move! Yes. To Kazuma's cabin. There we go. Alright, first class cabin number 1. Looks like they're still investigating in here.
Yes, on that subject, I wonder if Inspector Hasanaga is unscathed.
What do you mean unscathed?
Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruhodo-san? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you.
Oh, yes. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know. Can I talk to this guy? Hello. Oh my god. Oh jeez. Oh, my controller's still connected. That vibration scared me. You, where did you go? Sorry. I just went to the next door cabin to investigate. Why? Who gave you permission for this? Well, Steven Hasanaga did. That new Japanese, was it? Later, I'll roll him in a ball and throw him in cold room. Oh, please don't. Phew, he's gone back to guarding the door.
I hope Inspector Hasanaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account.
He's really gone out of his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for steak at Le Carnival. I want steak. It sounds really good.
That could be a very long time from now, Naruhodo-san.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else left in here for us, right? So let's skedaddle. Yeah. I feel like the goal is find Hasanaga, but I have no freaking clue where he is. Examine. Hasanaga! Where are you? Hold on, what did... Okay. I feel like they said something about where to go, and I just didn't pay attention at all. I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He's going to talk to the captain. Okay, well, how do we get to the captain, though? Okay. Is there anything else to look at? I still think this rat trap is very suspicious. Nothing over here. Already looked at all this biz. Oh, I didn't mean to talk to you again. Oh no! No, I don't want to get thrown in the ocean, please. I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't mean to do. Oh my. Ah! Okay, maybe there is something we still need to do in here. Oh, I'm falling apart at the seams. I didn't know. I just want to move. Move into Kazuma's cabin. Yes. Okay, examine. Is there... Oh my god, there he is. I'm just stupid, I guess. Hello? Oh my god! No! Hasanaga, oh no!
Ah, you're back.
Inspector!
What happened to you? Your face is...
Oh no, his glasses are broke! Aww.
Please don't worry about it. They're just scratches.
Made by a bear, maybe.
When I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fists and then toss me overboard.
What?
But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing really.
I'm so sorry. Looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to.
Well, thanks to your efforts, we now know a little bit about the neighboring cabin.
Yes, so I understand.
Oh,
I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Sholmes. I don't think he was German, though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes, then? We can tell you what we found out.
yes, let's do it.
Oh, get this poor man an ice pack.
What? Nikolina Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door.
Oh, do you know who she is?
Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel?
Oh dear. Oh, but no. I think I upset him there. I feel so bad for this man. His life is just falling apart.
Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case at least.
Oh, how?
Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they?
Yeah, well, we thought that about the last lady in the last case, and she turned out to be a freaking murderer, so... Just saying. Oh, now I've definitely upset him. My bad.
Inspector, has your investigation in here proved fruitful? If I'm honest, there's very little more that I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. So I'm just keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job.
Oh, I see.
Ah, there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you.
Oh, what?
Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please.
Ooh, new info. What is this new info you have, Inspector?
It's this.
Ooh.
The Maria's medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report.
Oh, Kazuma's post-mortem report?
Kazuma-sama.
So, what was the cause of death?
Damage to the cervical vertebrae is what's written in the report.
Spine injury, huh? Interesting. What could cause a spinal cord injury? I don't think it would be venom then, if that's the case. Because venom wouldn't have damaged the physical bones. Oh, intriguing.
His neck was broken?
Oh god!
Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury, so at first I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all.
Well, what weapon was used then? That's what I want to know. Maybe someone whacked him with his sword?
Nothing has been found as yet, but the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object, something that wouldn't leave a mark.
Yeah, like maybe they, like the sword wasn't unsheathed, they just like took it and whacked him with it. Ooh, or maybe they used one of these little statue things, like they whacked him with that. But that probably wouldn't break his neck though. And I can't imagine it was strangulation, because then he'd have bruises on his neck. Interesting. Suspicious? Maybe he was strangled by the snake! Oh, I see.
While the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain, a strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. It is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left.
Poor Kazuma. I know, right? My poor boy.
I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it.
Really? Are you sure?
Yes, it's fine.
I trust you. Oh, don't look at me with that smile, but I'm gonna screw this up and feel bad about it.
After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I?
Aw, Hazanaga is such a bro. I love him. The postmortem report has been entered into the court record. Nice. Thank you. I'm glad one of the people around me doesn't treat me like garbage. Kazuma used to treat me nice.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, was he?
Yes, he seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept about on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything? Actually, now you mention it, yes. Just one thing, but he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, was all he said. Shoe polish? Wonder what he meant. Shoe polish? Okay. Yeah, excuse me. It was when he was over there, by the piece of broken glass, do you see? Oh, the, like, brown stain? Yeah.
Ah, perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark, do you think?
Ah, yes, that must be it. But how could Mr. Sholmes know that it's shoe polish? Probably licked it. I bet he licked it. That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. What is it, Sasato-san?
Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue.
Dark tan? A sort of dark brownish red, then.
Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for him.
Oh, does this mean that this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes as they scuffed on the floor? Interesting. I'm wondering if there was like some sort of incident with the boat rocking or something, and that's what like knocked everything over on all of the shelves. And maybe that's why Kazuma was like skidding across the floor, and why there's a bunch of stuff knocked over. Like there was like the boat lurched or something, and everybody tripped on stuff. And maybe he tripped on something and broke his neck when he fell. I don't know. Still too early to tell, but maybe if I throw everything at the wall, eventually I will be correct. That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yeah, that might be for the best. Thank you. This poor man. I feel so bad for him. Poor Inspector. Yeah, I agree. You look exhausted. Oh, no. Well. Oh. I feel terrible that I failed to protect Asagi-san. He was my responsibility. Oh, no. Oh, buddy. You make me so sad. God, this man deserves a hug. Someone please give him a hug. Please. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You are his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke this morning. Like we did! Papa! Because wasn't Ryunosuke saying something about how, like, after he woke up, he was having head problems, like his head felt really foggy or something like that? A heavy head? That's interesting. My head's still throbbing too. Aha! Aha! Okay. What now? I guess we can move? I feel like we gotta track down Sholmes before we can get anywhere. There we go. Alrighty.
Ah! Look, Naruhodo-san. Seaman Stroganoff is gone.
Strong enough? Come on, Ryunosuke.
The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us.
All these Russian names are impossible to remember. It's stroganoff. It's very tasty. I love me some good stroganoff. Man, now I'm always so hungry whenever I do these streams. I need to get me a snack or something. Wish I just had steak on hand. Hello? Tra-la-la. Huh? Do you hear that? Sounded like someone singing. Tra-la-la-lira-lira-lay. I did it the great detective way. Beautiful.
This caroling. I know that lark-like voice.
Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us.
Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate.
Definitely. Before that stringy knot crewman comes back. Ridowski! Show the man some respect.
It's Stroganoff, not Stringy Knot.
Okie dokie. Let's get in there. The case is open. Where's that snake? Where's that snake? Show me the snake. Miss Pavlova isn't back yet. Sasato-san? Oh, where's she gone? Oh. Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things.
There's not a moment to waste, Naruhodo-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can.
I suppose you're right, for Kazuma's sake. So, find anything?
Not just for Kazuma-sama.
What do you mean?
It can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there.
Really?
We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san. By ourselves if we have to.
Yes, we will. Onward to investigate. First off, the case.
Oh my! Miss Pavlova's case is open.
It's completely empty inside. But according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there.
Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret.
Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the SS Beria. Wonder what kind of animal she had in there. It was a snake! I'm telling you, it's a snake! And more to the point, where is it now? It's loose. Let's investigate her clothes.
Naruhodo-san, are you there?
Sorry, I'm right here, yes. Why?
Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home.
Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see, you know.
Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone could fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes.
I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in there, but no such luck. Okay. What about... Oh, I guess I can't investigate this suspicious suitcase. Okay. What about the desk? There are just a few books on the desk. Nothing else by the looks of it.
Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all.
That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read.
Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading books written in Russian.
Figures. Thanks. I think I probably already do that.
It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that.
Sorry. Jeez. What is this bin?
I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket.
Should I have a little look and see what's been thrown away?
Naruhodo-san! It's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know.
I have been accused of murder. We're the only ones investigating. I think it's okay. Those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now.
However, these are special circumstances, I think.
Exactly. We have no choice. What are the goods? Ah, man.
Oh, well, that's a little disappointing.
Yeah, no kidding. What about this suspicious teapot?
It seems this teapot is empty.
So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are very thirsty people.
Or, because Miss Pavlova only came into this cabin last night, she hasn't had the chance to make any tea yet? I mean, it could be either.
It's definitely they're excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it.
You're rather obstinate, aren't you, Naruhodo-san?
God, Ryunosuke's toast. There's not a brain cell between these two.
I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor.
Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately. Gee, it's almost like someone put it there to feed a pet that they were keeping.
Do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here?
What, a leak?
Is this ship quite safe?
I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is going to sink.
No, you're right. Of course you're right.
She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she? Oh. Alright, what other things are there to investigate? Perhaps the vent? So this ventilator connects to Kazuma's cabin next door.
Yes, although what a fool a shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room.
Ah, maybe. It's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm.
Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning.
That is a possibility. Anyway, last night, Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. Okay. Let's check the door. Oh my goodness, I can't stop yawning, excuse me. This cabin door has the same simple sort of bolted latch that our cabin door has. If the bolt's drawn across, there's no way anybody could enter the cabin from outside.
Yes, it's not a particularly heavy-duty bolt, is it? But still, it wouldn't slide across of its own accord, would it?
No, and the door is made of metal, so there's no chance of trickery using magnets to unbolt it from the outside.
And it seals up perfectly, too, to stop any seawater coming in. So you couldn't use the method you told me of passing a thread through a crack around the closed door, either.
I seem to know a lot of tricks for opening doors. I'm starting to see why they suspect me. Okay. What else is there to investigate? I don't see anything. Maybe the shelf again? All the books have toppled over together. Look. Every single one.
Do you think that's a god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though.
It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door. In Kazuma's cabin.
Perhaps. Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase?
I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company?
Alright then. It must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage?
Ma'am! Not everything bad that happens on this ship is because of me, you know.
Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here, too. I don't like seeing things in disarray.
Thank you, Sato-san. Okay, rules? Ah yes, they're displayed in this cabin too, look. Yes, this Buria's rule of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in the cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
I suppose Miss Pavlova realized that she needed to keep the contents of her case a secret after she read this. Her special friend, I mean.
I wonder where her friend has disappeared to now. He's probably having fun exploring the ship, I imagine.
I just hope Seaman Stroganoff doesn't find it and throw it overboard.
Oh, yeah, so do I. Okay. Well, now what? I've explored everything. Suspicious bed? No. This little tassel thing? One of these next to the bed in Kazuma's cabin, too.
Yes, it's a bell cord. I can't resist.
Me too, girl, me too. She barely hesitated, and she gave it a good tug, too.
No, I didn't actually expect anyone to come.
What is the point, then? We're in the first class cabins. Like, you're telling me first class doesn't... Like, what? Why even bother? I don't want them to. We're trying to investigate a secret. Okay. Alright. Well, I don't see anything else suspicious, so I guess maybe we leave? Okay. Out we go, I guess. Can we... Oh my god! Sir!
Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes, look!
Wow, you never know where he's going to turn up next, do you?
He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself.
Hello, Sholmes. Tra-la-la, leer-leer-lay. I did it the great detective way. He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us?
Or he's simply in extremely high spirits.
Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could chew. And through it all, when there was doubt, it's lucky her luck was about. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. I solved it all and I stood tall. I did it the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes! Oh. What is it? You want to fight? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing and I was just about to reach the climactic finish. Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now was as good a time as any. I nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks. Right, I get the picture. Can you put those fists away? Please don't hurt me, sir. I've been hurt enough today.
Mr. Sholmes, you seem to be examining something before we interrupted you.
Ah, yes, that. I was immersed in the study of the ship's log as penned by the stockily built crewman who's usually on guard here.
Oh, yes, the ship's log.
And did you find out anything useful from it? Or are you just messing around and not doing anything? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so... You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Did someone rip out the pages? Observe the other pages and all shall become clear. It would seem the same crewman oft stands sentry in this first-class passageway, and he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes?
Nothing to report?
Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report.
Do you mean...
Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post.
What kind of circumstances? What happened?
That remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file. Ah, yes, my mental inventory. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Congratulations, you did one thing correctly. Ah, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes Sholmes. Brilliance! Ah, ooh, ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to have been inflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason, nothing more. Very sus. If only someone on this ship had some Advil around. Well, my friends, until our next encounter. Does anyone have a Tylenol, perhaps? He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off. Great. Sigh. Is something wrong, Sasato-san? You seem lost in thought.
It's just... well, I feel the same.
Sorry?
Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. A sort of continuous throbbing.
Oh, you too? Interesting. Okay. I guess this is okay. Alright, back to Kazuma's cabin then? Back we go. Let's ask this guy if he's had a headache lately. I can't. Sorry for bothering. Okay. Yeah. Now where to? I've already talked to Hasanaga, investigated everything in here. No! I didn't mean to do that! Why do I keep doing it? Gosh dang it. Frickin'. Why do I keep clicking on things that I don't mean to click on? Yeah. Oh my gosh, we've already had this conversation. Okay. Get me out of here, please. I wanna go... Can we go back to Pavlova's cabin? Oh god.
What's that?
Oh god. Oh, friggin'. Shut down the engines immediately! Vessel sighted a quarter mile 4. Full stop! Hard to starboard! All hands brace for impact! What the?
I think we're about to crash into another ship.
What? Oh god!
I can't stand.
Susato-san, hold on to me! Oh my god! Susato-san, are you alright? Are you injured?
I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san.
Oh god. Oh no! Looks like we avoided a collision.
I think...
Yes, the ship has come to a stop.
Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine. Oh god! Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like...
Inspector Hasanaga. Is that you in there, Naruhodo-san? Unbolt the door, quickly.
What? The bolt?
Look at that!
The door's bolted. So that's probably how Kazuma's door got bolted shut. Well, we probably did run into something. And that's why everything was knocked over. And that's how the door got locked. Oh my god, it's all coming together.
No, I didn't touch it.
Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the books. They're just like they were before again. Pretty sus.
Naruhodo-san, are you going to open the door and let the inspector in?
Yeah, I'm getting to it. Better tie this place up first. Or you could, like, let him in and then tidy up. Just saying. A violent emergency stop had solved one mystery, at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Oh dear. To be continued. Don't worry, it's okay. We're not stopping the stream yet. We're only 38 minutes in. We can keep going. It's okay. It's okay, baby girl. It's gonna be okay. We aren't stopping yet.
Yes, save please. Okay. Continue.
Alrighty. 9th of January. In Miss Pavlova's cabin. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Sasato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. Hello? Hi! How's it going? You, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's?
Oh, you both look kinda hurt. Good.
Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship.
Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though.
Oh, how did that happen?
There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop.
Everything in chaos. Passengers are screaming, crew are running everywhere.
This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see.
Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside?
Ah! You wicked intruders! Dressed in all black, you are the devil!
Sorry? Me? We call a lot of things before, but devil is a first.
You opened my traveling case, how could you?
What? No, we didn't touch it.
That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector!
Yes?
Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. It is not enough that he has killed a man.
And he's stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe?
Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else.
Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right. You are devil. It doesn't look good, does it? There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Please don't. Please don't. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong, then we give you straight to police. Wait, cell.
Please, Inspector Hasanaga, is there nothing you can do?
This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options.
This is terrible.
This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately! Curl up into a ball and cry. That is my solution to most things. Miss Pavlova! Please don't do this to me! Miss Pavlova, can I...
Get out.
Listen, I'm sorry that we snuck in here without your permission, but...
Get out now.
We just needed to investigate in here to help understand what happened to... Oh god! It's no use. She's not going to listen. I need to find someone who will. Is there a snake? Oh my god! Sir? Sir? What are you doing up there? Don't... Mr. Sholmes! Naturally, I was analysing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no. Well, why are you hanging from that hook for then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall so full of brag and bounce. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not.
Ah, you again. The great detective.
Ah, Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you, most urgently.
Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time.
What is to report? Speak! An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Oopsie. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Burya, has been solved. By me, naturally. Gasp. What?
Really?
Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Oh boy, here we go. Oh dear. Ah, you have solved it. Even the hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing student boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. It is this stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it. I am innocent.
The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim, because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories.
The locked room, that is point.
The room was locked.
Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You were all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all, because it was unlocked, but then it was locked when the bolt rocked. Blah-blah!
What?
Oh yes, there is another entrance. But an entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door?
What other entrance? We never discovered one.
Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator man.
The ventilator?
You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You know who is small enough to fit through a vent? A snake! I'm really hung up on this snake. If there's not a snake in this case, I will be furious.
You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening. It's not possible.
Ah, but it is! And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator.
Snake, 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 snake! Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
I really like his animation. It's very fun. Precisely, my dear madame.
But what does it mean? What is this speckled band?
The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Snake, 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 snake! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cause. Snake, snake, behold! Oh god. Snake, 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 snake! Yeah! Snake! Oh, he's so cute! Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the speckled band. A snake? Indubitably. Yeah, I'm so glad we got the snake! Yeah. I love him. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Oh, that's a good point. Interesting.
Yes, you're right. I think in this case you'd have to call it... the striped band, wouldn't you?
Very clever, Sasato. Good job. Very creative. You both see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? I think the snake's like looking at him like it's listening, like, yeah, he's got a point.
Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap?
How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova?
I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me.
There are two conclusions I've drawn from the facts. Number one, last night your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life.
No.
She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Sholmes must be right, he hit the nail on the head.
This young woman's friend killed Mr. Osagi.
Someone help this man. Looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. Is he okay? I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Oh, yes, I'm so ready. The game is afoot. Let's go. Topic 1. Alright. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. I love this dude is just tolerating a snake on his face. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give? Pray, what was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does! You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Aha! Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's sloughed skin. Ew. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin, no?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. That doesn't make sense. A snake can't change its pattern, can it? Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. Ah, poor Cosmo and his terrible, terrible eyesight. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. A snake so dreadful we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. What? I'm sorry, huh? Beloved speckled snake. Oh, Mr. Silent. Oh my gosh, I can't stop yawning. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there was no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by her terrible venom. Wrong. Lies. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could there be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost, but not quite, imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend.
This makes no sense.
There is no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavoured to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glances betray the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that travelling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt.
You don't...
It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you would use to train your serpent friend.
To... train?
Indeed. You'd put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny the snake has undergone such training?
It's not true.
Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. Well, that doesn't... I'm not so convinced the snake did it. Because... Or at least the snake didn't bite him. Because how on earth... Like, yeah, sure, I get it. Maybe Kazuma didn't realize that it was a snake because it was dark. But, like, once the snake is climbing on you, I think you would realize that there was a snake climbing on you, yes? Whatever. What do I know? And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending its existence forever. Yeah. Well, that is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. Yeah. Death by snake venomous snake bite. I can read. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. Press X to doubt? Press X to doubt. Doubt. I think no. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Also, I don't know a lot about snakes. I don't think they drink milk. So, hypothetically, what if there's a second pet? And maybe that pet killed Kazuma. Perhaps a cat. Maybe a cat? I don't know. Interesting things to think about. Incredible, you've solved the mystery, is what I would say if I actually believed it were true.
Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now why Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name.
My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. Right.
Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes?
But of course, what's on your mind?
It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me.
I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly.
Oh, well, good. First of all...
What is this book she's always carrying around?
Snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family.
You are well informed, madame.
And reptiles, don't drink milk.
Ah.
It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward.
No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds.
Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears.
Ah.
Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling.
But madame, what are the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute?
I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements.
Exposed! Get him! Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. Leave the snakes out of it. They did nothing wrong.
There's one other thing.
You have more?
Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in the cabins.
Then it should try harder. Sir?
Please don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this.
This man's life is ruined. Right, so... Uh-huh. So if not Snake, then who?
I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, no, you don't mean...
Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be.
I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, right. So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What? Yay! You did it again! Now please don't put them back on.
Your handcuffs are gone.
Where did they go? Fear not, I shall see them restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Alright, Ryunosuke, let's do this. I believe in you, baby. You can do it. Tutor's identity? Perhaps not a beloved snake. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall these horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. She does have a pained expression on her face.
Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind.
Maybe it's not a pained heart, perhaps a pained wrist? But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Maybe she's sad because she doesn't want her snake to be accused.
Let's take a moment and really look very closely at Miss Pavlova.
Her wrist is causing her pain. Her... Oh gosh, why is this so hard to... Click on... Oh god. Oh, these controls are really janky. Her ear... Why can I not choose her wrist? Why is that not an option? Okay, I guess we'll inspect her heart. She really does look troubled.
Yes, it's hard to believe she's putting that expression on to fool us.
If you look closely, it's almost like she's actually staring at something.
At what do you think?
Perhaps something physically causing her pain. We should have a closer look. Oh! Aha! Like a scratch perhaps from a cat that drinks milk?
Oh, Naruhodo-san, look! That looks like a very painful wound.
Looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal. Oh god, the blood is pink. It really is Danganronpa. No! And fairly recently too. Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here. Okay, how do I present? Yes! There we go. Claw scratch. Alright. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. I really like these Ryunosuke sections. He's so excited. It makes me happy. Ah, the boys. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night?
When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse.
Oh, so that's why she's been like covering her hand the whole time. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. Seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they?
No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow.
I'm glad they know what a snake is. Considering they didn't know what cheese is, I was kind of worried. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? Also, if the snake is not her pet, where the frick did the snake come from?
We should follow her gaze. That's where we'll find the answer.
Oh. Aha! Dun-dun! Oh, it's so cute! Oh, that's got the bell! The cat did it! It's got the bell that's on the floor by cause of his body! Oh, look at the photograph in this frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away.
She is exceptionally beautiful, isn't she?
Not gonna lie, she is like super pretty. Like, dang. Yes, that's true, but personally, it's a little black creature she's holding. What is this creature? Maybe we better take a closer look at this. Present. Yes. Considering the fact that you ran away from your homeland on your own, you have no friends at the moment, except yourself. Wait, that wasn't what I... It's not my intention to make you feel bad. What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruhodo? Just following the natural progression of the deduction. Sometimes the truth hurts. Well, the truth is, you do not have a turn for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot. I didn't mean to click on her. I thought it was talking about the whole picture. Yeah, frickin'. Yeah. I know. Clicked on the wrong thing like a big dumb loser. I'm aware. Can we please skip through this? Okay. Un chat.
Yes!
Little kitten. Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear. Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Exposed!
Darka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind.
Darker would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us with a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Can someone please free this man? Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't forget me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yeah, it doesn't look like a snake skin. It looks like a scarf or something.
Did you see that?
She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back. If she just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever even known.
Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr.
Holmes' specialty. Sorry, I don't know anyone called Holmes. That's a stupid name.
He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something.
I thought deduction was his specialty. Maybe making me believe that was a ploy too.
Anyway, I find it hard to believe that's the skin of a snake.
In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? How do I... Eh. Eh. What is this? Well, it is speckled, and it is a band, but what is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy. A long piece of cloth of some sort. Oh, is it a cat toy? Looks like a handle at one end.
I think it might be a cat's toy. This sort is common in the West, apparently.
How is that a toy for cats?
Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens, in particular, love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them, and they pounce to catch it.
Ha! That sounds positively adorable. Alright. Present. Cat toy. Yes, the thing you are trying but failing to conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighbouring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. Ah. So the cat strangled Kazuma, of course! In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka. Yeah! A truly troublesome feline young Darka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You'll forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova? Alright. I wonder, is this gonna result in like a full trial that we have to go through? Because it feels like we're just solving it all right here and now.
It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could even do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she is so naughty.
Well, I still don't think the cat killed Kazuma, right? I don't know how a cat could enact blunt force trauma on the back of someone's neck. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I've been appraised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom.
What Mr. Shump says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Kazuma-sama's body.
That's right, but Mr. Shump seemed to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned.
Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing now.
Autopsy report. Yes. This little smirk is so goofy. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Ah, yes, I knew it was one or the other.
His neck was...
Indeed. The breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Seaman Stroganoff isn't some immortal freak, you know. The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could there be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something, or someone.
Yes, that's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found, though.
Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow.
I suppose. suppose it's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident.
Oh yes, a bad fall could explain it. But a bad fall is boring! There's gotta be a murderer!
It's rather hard to believe in Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man.
Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? Perhaps the mark on the floor. Present.
Yes!
Mark on the floor! Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor proved the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish. Kazuma's got some sick shoes, by the way.
Shoe polish.
Indeed. Positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asagi's laced leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asagi must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped. Did he trip over the cat?
Please, no.
And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life. Jesus.
No! I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asagi lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You had the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. Ooh, is it the rest of the bell?
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it.
I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened.
But...
And if this part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes.
Where, I wonder?
Let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. That links you to the victim's death. The tiara? The case? What's in the case? Can we see what's in the case? Is there anything in the case? This is where Miss Pavlova hit her friend. That's right, it wasn't a snake. No, it was that kitten. Not that it's anywhere to be seen. It seems to have let itself out of the case and gone exploring.
I expect it's wrapped itself around someone's head somewhere trying to make a new friend.
That or it's scratching their hand to pieces. The point is, where's it got to? Oh, kitty! Kitty, kitty! I'm confused. The tiara? Somebody appears to have dropped 20,000 rubles here.
Hasn't been dropped, Naruto-san. It's been placed.
It's starting to sound like Mr. Sholmes. Oh, wait, is the tiara the same color as the cat's bell?
Stop trying to sound like the great detective.
I bet that's the connector.
Yes!
Oh no. Tried to hide the evidence in plain sight, didn't you? It's this tiara. Oh, don't give me that wide-eyed incredulous stare. Uh-oh. 20,000 rubles is enough to make anyone lose their head. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit dumb. Leave me alone. Okay. Well, there's not really much else to look at in here, so it must be the case. It seems so unlike him to stumble. Yeah. something here in this cabin that links Miss Pavlova to that mark. We'll find it somewhere over here. Okay, is there anything else I can look at? I guess the waste paper basket? Okay, I'm gonna say the case, because I don't know what else it could be. No, it's not the case. Uh-oh. Okay, it's gotta be the bin. Yeah. I'm going to accuse it anyway. You're quite concentrating. You identified exactly what I did originally. Oh yes, so I have. Sorry. Well, I do understand. As inimitable as I am, people do like to try. You won't make a great detective like that. Not even a great detective's assistant. Okay, I'm the one that needs to keep correcting you on everything because you won't just say what you mean. Yeah. Okay. It's gotta be the bin then, yeah? Because I don't see anything else to really look at in here. Alright. Inspect it first, just to be sure. There's a thing in there! Perhaps all first-class cabins have them. Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably there's not much rubbish in there yet. Aha! Oh, what's that?
It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. It's the bell!
If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you.
Present! Yes! Oh, we got him, boys! We got him! Oh, yeah! That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket. Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object. It would seem one that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely, we found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Asagi's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no. So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin?
Kia!
You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not?
I don't...
I don't know, in that hushed Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question.
What?
Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo! Yes. Evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell, that would be the picture! Present! If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from Darka's collar, the very glass bell in question. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feline friend, Darka. Ooh, get her. Ooh, get her. Dun dun!
I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry.
Death by tripping over a cat. Well, that's unfortunate. Deduction complete. Oh yeah, big brain. Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night. Spill the tea, sis. Give us the news.
It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands.
People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments.
She was so fast. She disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her.
And that is how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, isn't it?
Yes, and I have read the rules on the wall. I noted that I was not allowed Darka with me.
Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really.
So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping.
So at that point, you thought it was safe to try to lure the kitten back again by dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin.
Darka always loves this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy. I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return.
So the faint whistling sound Cosmo wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet. Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened.
Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then...
Oh god! Oh, poor Cosima.
I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out and then... Oh, it was such a dreadful bang. Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent.
Cosima was... Oh. From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. The SS Burrier is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Osogi was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet, a combination of unfortunate factors could easily have caused him to fall over. There's another piece to this, I can feel it! But what became of the kitten afterwards? Girl, I don't know.
In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator.
Yet Darka was nowhere to be seen.
I must have forgotten to lock my case, and now she's disappeared again.
Oh god, the snake eater. Gracious, that cat is as insufferably restless as I am. Well, he knows something about himself at least.
When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died, but I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back.
Oh. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right. Where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then whose is it and where did it come from? What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board this ship? Ah, they're friends now. Oh, I didn't say. Snake is my friend. His name is Piroshko. Oh, he's his friend. What? That snake belongs to you. He escaped from cage when the emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him in here. Yes, how did that snake get into this cabin? But animals are not permitted on board. Ah, we are at sea for 1 year. You want to be so long without close friend, without someone who understands? Couldn't you find someone a little more human who understands you better? But my dear burly fellow, gargantuan venomous snake, surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. No venom. Huh? Piroshko does not have venom. He is harmless, very long, but very gentle. He is adorable like Granny. I agree. Look at his derpy little face. I love him. It's venomless. Yes, now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him, you will see big smile. And you feed him... what? Milk, I suppose? That's what the rat traps are for! Ah, like they say they milk chickens. Ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Piroshko eats mouses, big fat round mouses. Ah, oh, so is that what the mouse trap in the passageway out there is for? Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. It refuses to drink milk, it can't hear a whistle, it can't climb up a bell cord, and it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring role? It's not my fault, I do not make up stories. My Piroshko has nothing to do with this incident. Wait, so is that implying that, like, how did the snake get the main role? Is it referring to the story we saw at the beginning? So that makes me wonder, like, so maybe Sholmes didn't write his own books. Maybe it was what's the Watson equivalent? Wilson? I think they called him Wilson, the first victim. So I wonder if he was, like, embellishing stuff for Sholmes's biography or whatever and just started making crap up. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. There's still more to it. I still don't think Cosmo would die just from tripping over a cat. Alright. Come on, what's the twist? What's the twist? What's the deep cut?
Miss Pavlova.
Gasp.
I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you.
But what are you talking about, Miss Mikitoba? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. That we know of. It was just a series of unfortunate events, an accident. Doubt!
I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yeah, still pretty sus. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. Huh. What's the discrepancy? I confess, I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. Oh. I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction. A distraction? I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. God dang it! Not again! When did he do that? Especially as they're on your wrists as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call. You were, Mr. Jones? Weren't you convinced I was like a Russian spy, like yesterday? Possibly even the same day. Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. And that is... the deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not? Yes. Literally, my boyfriend. Might you forget? Cosmo was my closest friend. I owed him my freedom, even. Susano's like, doubt. In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. Damn straight. Justice for my boy. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, whatever that may be. Alright. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. Oh, my boy, I miss him so much. The truth about how you really died, about how that scene in your cabin really came to be. Ooh. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo.
So then, shall we begin? Yes! What we should ponder first. He's the victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. And unfortunately, we may never know the answer to this predicament because I'm ending the stream here. We're at the hour 30 mark. I know. Terrible. Cliffhanger. Don't worry, I don't know when, but perhaps we will continue this another time in the distant future and we can finally what happened to my dear beloved boy Kazuma. But until then, the stream has come to its dastardly conclusion. Will we ever know what happened to my man? Who knows? Is there some secret third pet aboard this boat that we don't know about? Probably. Probably, let's be honest. And will Ryunosuke be doomed to eternity of being accused of crimes that he did not commit? Without a doubt. But anyways, thank you for coming to the stream as always. And thank you if you came to any of my streams. I very much appreciate it. It's been a very fun little summer project. Perhaps the next time you see me, I will have learned more about how to Twitch stream. Perhaps I will even have a donations box open. Who knows? If I'm feeling really ambitious. We'll see. But until the distant future when we meet again, thank you for coming. And goodbye. I love you all. Bye bye.